I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. Marineland Dolphin Adventure has been sold, Tony Magoo reports.
Amy Lukasik, acting director of the county's tourism division, reports that Marineland Dolphin Adventure has been purchased by Dolphin Discovery, a privately held company. The previous owners of MDA are a nonprofit, and therefore the property has been off the tax rolls. Its entire assessed value of $5 million exempt from county and other property taxes. That exemption would appear to be over. This would result in an addition of property taxes for the city of Marineland, the county, the school board, and a few other small entities of a combined $128,000 a year. I'm just interested to hear what sort of changes they have in mind. Programs, hopefully some new animals, Lukasik said. We have all heard stories about how some companies treat their animals. But last year, 6 dolphin discovery facilities in the Mexican Caribbean earned certification through the Global American Humane Conservation Program for the humane treatment of the animals under their care. This puts Dolphin Discovery in an elite group. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport, Delta Airlines nonstop to Atlanta, and now nonstop service to New York City via American Airlines.
As the Flagler County Commission orders a reallocation of space inside the courthouse for the sheriff's office, WNZF asked the question, do the courts really need the expansive space they have, given so many people do their business online? Clerk of Court Tom Bexley answered it on WNZF's Free for All Friday.
There's always going to be the need in this day and age of having a brick and mortar facility for people to come into. The idea of technology is to give people choices. The great part of it is we've got such a great level of technology, people can do a lot of their business from home, but we'll always need to have that presence.
Bexley says while it's often boasted that his office has plenty of space,
the bottom line is we do have a great building that we live in, and there is some space. What we've done, though, is we welcome the sheriff in to parts of that building, and right now having his operation in with ours and ours in with his, that part of it inherently builds a little discomfort, but we're getting the job done.
Hear the full interview with Bexley on the Free for All Friday podcast at WNZF.com. Construction begins on a new apartment complex in Palm Coast. John Arking has more.
A groundbreaking ceremony was held Wednesday on the 88-unit building off of Bulldog Drive. Designed as so-called workforce housing, the Palms at Town Center will consist of 3 buildings on just over 9 acres of land. It will include a clubhouse, pool, dog park, volleyball area, and nature path, and should be completed by next spring. Palm Coast Mayor Melissa Holland spoke at the ceremony, describing the development as a great opportunity for the future of our community. With rent ranging between $234 for a 1-bedroom unit and just over $1,100 for a 3-bedroom unit, the Palms at Town Center was designed specifically as affordable and workforce housing, with all 88 units for families whose income ranges between 30 and 80% of at or below area median income. The project is financially feasible thanks to federal low-income housing tax credits and Florida State Department incentive loan programs. It's also the first residential project in Palm Coast's Innovation District, located within the town center area, designed to help create new ideas that can then help create new jobs. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arkin.
Suicides kill more people in Flagler County than fire, overdoses, and car crashes combined.
We learned that at last night's town hall meeting. We also learned that Palm Coast Mayor Melissa Holland lost her mother to suicide.
And I thought, oh my God, she has really done this. And then turned over and saw her on her bathroom floor and really understood the magnitude in that moment that not only for my life will forever change, but my children's life will never be the same again. Because my mom was a tremendous grandmother.
Holland said that her mother had been depressed much of her life and was ashamed of it.
She wasn't a bad mom, you have to understand. She truly was not. She just was so sad. And she couldn't control her feelings or her emotions in that moment.
Mayor Holland said that it took her years to get to the point where she could tell the story of her mother's suicide in hopes that others struggling can get help. Health professionals told a packed house at the Realtors Association building that Flagler County has the highest rate of suicides in Florida and offers the fewest services to help those in need. The ray of hope, many on the panel said, is to talk to a person who might be thinking about suicide. Don Ritchie lived near a cliff in Australia, or a gap if you will, and when he was alive, it's said that he saved about 170 people from suicide. Panelist Michael Cristano is a regional suicide prevention specialist in Florida and told Richie's story last night.
And so Don Ritchie would go up to them and he'd simply ask them, how are you? How are you doing? Is there something that I can do for you? Can I help you? That would often lead to a conversation. Because he lived so close to the Gap, many times they'd go back to his house, they'd have a cup of tea, and this person would just have the opportunity to talk about all of that pain that they're going through.
Cristano said, don't be afraid to ask questions, have a conversation, and help somebody. If you want to hear the entire town hall meeting, it's a podcast at WNZF.com. From the WNZF newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.